All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here, and I want to thank everybody for logging on to this. If you have any questions, I have everybody muted on here. If you have any questions, please just open up the chat and send a chat message to me, and I'll get to your questions at the end. I'm recording this also, so if you want to share this with anybody, it'll be on our website, and I'll go over that with you as well. Okay, first I'm going to talk a little bit about the final expense live transfers. I know some of you have talked to Barry or me, and I'm going to go into it in just a little bit more detail now. And if it's something you're interested in, I'll show you how to get started at the end of this. So with the final expense live transfers, we started doing them right around the time COVID hit, and nobody could see face to face, and you couldn't meet with clients. And so a lot of agents had to get out of the business. And these live transfers actually saved a lot of people from having to get out of the business that otherwise would have. So it's been a real blessing for a lot of our agents and for us. There's no more on your end. There's no more searching for prospects. No more paying for internet leads that were also sold to other agents. I've gone through these, we've gone through these, everything that I'm putting up here, and you guys probably have too. There's a lot of internet lead vendors out there, and you know, to their credit, a lot of them will say these leads have been sold to other agents and so they're cheaper, but then they also have the exclusive leads, and you know, you're not totally sure if they're exclusive or not. You just have to take their word on it. And with internet leads, another problem with them is it's a lot of looky-loos out there. So you won't have to worry about that anymore. You won't have to worry about calling leads that don't answer their phones. And that's one of the biggest problems that we see these days. Even though you can meet with people face to face now, it's hard to get a hold of these leads. A lot of people don't answer their phones, and that's where working with the call center definitely helps on that end. You don't have to dial, you don't have to, you know, leave messages, anything like that. The people will be transferred over to you directly. No more driving to see clients face to face. Some appointments the driving can be over an hour. A couple of years ago, I was out in Georgia doing a ride along with an agent, and things are spread out a little bit out there, and we were doing final expense appointments, and we didn't get back to, I didn't get back to my hotel till almost 1 a.m. We drove hours and hours and saw probably 4 or 5, we had about 4 or 5 different appointments, but so much driving, it barely covered the gas. So you don't have to worry about seeing clients face to face. You don't have to worry about COVID catching anything from anybody. So that's a great plus. You can just work from your home. No more being stood up on appointments. That's awful. You drive all the way out there and they just don't show. And I've run hundreds and hundreds of leads. I've been in the business for about 25 years now. And you guys have probably been on those appointments too, where you're at the person's house, you're knocking on the door, you can hear people in there and they just don't answer the door after they had set up an appointment with you. It's really frustrating. So our offer on final expense live transfers, you'll be able to work from your house and you'll get free final expense live transfers. People will be calling in and they'll be transferred over to you. It doesn't get any easier than that. Let me see. Can everybody hear me? I'm getting someone telling me that they can't hear me. If you can hear me, will you send me a little chat message? I see my microphone is moving. Okay, looks like other people can hear. It figures it's Barry that can't hear. Okay, so I'll just keep going forward with this. So you'll receive free final expense live transfers, and I have there in parentheses, unless the agent chooses to pay, and I'll go over that with you in a little bit. There's 2 ways to do this program. We will also give you product and sales training documents and videos. This is our website right here that we have. And there's an agent login section. You can log in and we have the company product information here, additional training docs with phone scripts, other training types of materials. We have training videos for the different companies we use and their e-apps on here. We have training events. You can see this is the one for today. And on Tuesday, we have a training Zoom meeting. And if you guys are interested in getting going on this, we'd love to have you on this training so we can get you going quickly. These are the different insurance companies. We have all this training available for you guys. We also do one-on-one and group Zoom trainings. So if you decide to get going, you can get on as many trainings as you want to make sure you're comfortable with everything. And if you want one-on-one Zoom meetings, I'll do those for you as well. So anything that we can do to get you writing business is what we want to do. We are not charging you any money for anything. We don't make money off leads or live transfers. We make money when you guys write business. And so that's what we're here to do. And we'll get you trained and up and going. Live transfer web system training. When you do the live transfers, you'll be using a website, and the transfers will actually come to you through the website. So you'll be using a website phone. We'll help you get all set up with that. Again, there's no cost to any of that. It's just a website and a soft phone, they call it, that you'll be using with the system. And so we'll get you all set up and get you trained on that. And we'll get you set up with the insurance company contracts for the companies that are best for you, depending on what non-resident states you have, what state you live in, who you're already contracted with. We'll get you all set up and going on that as well. And other opportunities with us, Medicare, MedSup live transfers, same type of system that I'm talking to you about right now for final expense. We have for Medicare and MedSup as well. So we like to get the agents started on the final expense. That gets them, used to the system, learning how it works, learning how to do phone sales. And then if Medicare and MedSup is something that you would like to get into, or that you're already into, but you'd like to get live transfers, we'll get you hooked up there. If you haven't done anything with Medicare in the past, there is a lot of certification that you'll have to do. You'll have to get your AHIP. You'll have to do certifications for each company that you use, but we can get you set up. A lot of agents already that are working with Medicare and MedSup, they've already done the certifications and the AHIP and they're ready to go. So we can get you set up on this system as well. It's a great program. We have many top life insurance contracts. If there's a specific contract you want, we get the agents the top contracts out there. We'll help you with advanced cases. If you have, some estate planning issues or something that's kind of out of your league, we'll help you with that. We have a lot of annuity companies, and we have an annuity grid that you can go over to look at the different products. On website, we have an annuity matrix on there as well. We'll train you on all of our products and sales systems. And if you want to build your own downline, we'll help you recruit and train agents and get that going too. If you're successful on this final expense live transfer program, and you know some other agents that you'd like to get involved with and get a downline built up, we can go ahead and help you with that. Okay, so what we need from you, and this is kind of to see if it's something that you actually qualify for. You need to have a minimum of 5 non-resident state licenses and preferably more. On our website, we have a list of all the state non-resident fees on there. So you can go down the list, see which ones you would want to pick. Included in a minimum of 5 non-resident states, we want you to have some of the bigger ones. California, Texas, and Florida are really essential to this. That's where a lot of the seniors are, and we need to get, agents who have similar states because the call center will call for the states that the agents have in common. And so the more states that the agents have in common that we have on the program, the more transfers you'll get. We'll need you to spend at least 15 hours per week on the live transfer program. That can be over, 2 to 5 days. You can set this up. Do 8 hours and 7 hours on 2 days. You can do 3 hours over 5 days, 4 hours over 4 days. It just runs the gamut. What we'll have you do is, and you'll see on this next number here, we want you to be online taking calls when you've told us you will be. So what we'll do is we'll have you give us a schedule of the following week, the hours that you'll be on. The reason we have to do that is because the call center staffs up according to how many agents we have taking calls. So if you say you're going to be taking calls, let's say Wednesday from let's say noon until 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., we need you on there because the call center will be calling and transferring calls. And so if you're not on there, we still get charged for the live transfers, even if you're not on there to get them. So we will need you to be online when you say you will. We will ask that you update us daily on the live transfers. We use Google Sheets, and so you can update your transfers every night, and we can see the updates on the sheet, and so we'll know what's happening. We'll know if we need to maybe do more training with you, or if there's anything that looks like it's, you're having a hard time with anything, we'll be able to tell from there. We'll also be talking to you daily on these and make sure that you're good with everything, you're comfortable, and it's working for you. And the last one is we require that you communicate with us. And that's a big one here. We want to work together on this. If you're having any troubles, we want to help you. If things are growing great for you, we might ask that you share in a Zoom meeting with the other agents how you're having success, maybe little things that you found out that work for you and might work for other agents. So communication is a key with this. This isn't something where you'll just pop in and pop out of, taking the live transfers. As I said, we'll have you do a schedule for a week and you'll be on during those hours. And it's really a requirement that when you say you're going to be on, you will be on. Again, the call center staffs up according to this. So we're looking for people that can close over the phone. And it's not as hard as it used to be, I believe. With COVID and with technology these days, more people are buying things over the phone. So in the past, we had to, when we first started this even, we had to do a lot of warm up with the customers and build that rapport. Now the customers, the prospects are on here to get final expense insurance quotes and they're interested in it. We don't have to do all the pre-warm up. We just get right into it, giving them the quotes, get the information about them. They know why you're talking to them, and that's what they're there for. The other thing is we have a 3-minute buffer on these live transfers. And what that means is if anytime during the first 3 minutes of the calls, you end the call, we don't get charged for it. And that's important because, it's a numbers game and there will be looky-loos on here. Every now and then you might get a transfer that they weren't sure exactly what it was for. So if you end the call within 3 minutes, we don't get charged. We don't want you to, hang up on a call where you're not sure if there's an option or not to get anything. If you're talking to them and things are going good and you think there's a possibility, keep going on it. But usually within 3 minutes, you can tell if there's a chance on this or not. And so that's kind of how we've changed the script these days to where you just can get on there and just not really an order taker, but an advisor where you just have to get right into the product and you don't have to do all the warm-ups on it. So there are 2 ways to participate, as I mentioned earlier. The first way is we pay for the live transfers and your comp is reduced to 40% on standard final expense policies, comp increases based on production each month. So it's nice. You don't have to, we don't have to wait, 6 months or 3 months or even a year to see what your numbers are, to see if you qualify for increased comp. Every month, you have an opportunity to get more comp based on the production. We also have an app bonus that's paid monthly. So the 40% really ends up being about 65 or 70% if you hit the numbers on here. And even if you don't, 40% for a free live transfer, someone that you wouldn't have talked to before, someone that you can write while you're at home, sitting in your chair. 40% is pretty high. We've worked with other companies where the transfers they get, or even leads that they give to agents, they have them at a 20% contract. So we have you 40% standard and increasing from there. And at any time you can change to paying for your own live transfers and receiving full comp, which is the second way to participate in the program. If you want to pay for the live transfers, you'll get full comp and renewals, and everything else will be the same. We'll still help you. We'll get you trained, get you all ready, trained on the products, the companies, on the live transfer online system. You just, you get all the comp on it. And what happens is we have a lot of agents that will start on the free program. And then when they start being successful on it and see that they can make more money if they pay for their own, they'll switch over and pay for their own. And you can switch back to getting free ones at any time as well. So we really leave it open to you. We're not against either of them. If we pay for the live transfers, we're happy to do that and train you. If you pay for the live transfers and get full comp, same thing. We're happy that you're doing it, and we'll train you and get you going on it. So it's up to you. Most people start off, as I mentioned, with the free live transfers. And so that's what I imagine a lot of you will do. Some of you, I know I've talked to a couple agents already who just want to pay for their own and get full comp on it, and that's fine as well. And here are the contract options that we have. These are the main companies that we're using for this. What we need is, we need Great Western, if at all possible, because they have about the lowest cost guarantee issue plan. A lot of these companies don't have guarantee issue. They just have the regular standard plan, or maybe graded and modified as well, but not guarantee issue. So we want to make sure that you have at least one company that has a guarantee issue plan and is in all the states pretty much. And that is Great Western. We've been getting American Amicable contracts to a lot of agents because their e-app is very simple. The underwriting has been great on it. But you can choose from these other companies as well. You'll see number 2, Americo. They have a regular standard final expense plan, and they have a guarantee issue plan. They're also the easiest to write an app with. With Americo, you don't have to do an e-app. All you do is you get some information on the client, and you do a 3-way call with Americo and give them all the information, and the client does a voice signature, and the policy is approved, or if they need to do additional underwriting, they'll let you know right there. But there's no e-app, no computer involved. As a matter of fact, you can really be anywhere and write the Americo app, just as long as you can do a 3-way call and have a laptop with you. We have Gerber. GCU is very low cost. They're just not approved in California, which is a little bit of an issue. So if you're an agent that has several states, but California isn't one of them, GCU is a good company. Prosperity, Royal Arcanum, Sentinel Security, all good companies as well. So what I've done is I've sent a text over to everybody, or I'm sorry, a chat over to everybody with the American Amicable and Great Western applications, or I'm sorry, contracts. If you are interested in getting on the program, please complete them and get them back to us. If you can get it back to me by Monday, then we can get you on the Tuesday training. If American Amicable or Great Western are problems, if you're already contracted with them and you can't get a release and you need to use different companies, that's not a problem. We'll get you set up with them. I want to make sure if you haven't, if you haven't received the contracts through the chat, let me know and I can go ahead and resend them over to you. Some of you logged on a little later, and so I'm not sure if you got it as well. Okay. So how do you get started on the program? First, fill out the contracts. Like I mentioned, I sent over American Amicable and Great Western. Let's see, as a matter of fact, I will do it. I'll send them again right now, just to make sure everybody gets them. And again, if either of these contracts are an issue with you, we can get you set up with different contracts. So that's the first part, fill out contracts. Number two, start studying the product info, sales scripts, and training videos on our website. And when you get the contracts back to us, I will get you login information for the website. And again, we have all the product information on there, sales scripts, training videos on the products and how to write the e-apps. The next step is attend Zoom training events. And as I mentioned, the next one is Tuesday, this coming Tuesday at 11 a.m. And I will email everybody a link for that. Also, it's on our website. So if you send us over the contracts and I send you the login information, you'll see on the agent portion of the website where it lists that training, and you can just click there and register for it. And the last part is you'll start receiving live transfers and writing apps. So that's kind of the system in a nutshell. If you pay for the live transfers, the cost depends on the call centers that we're using. We have, I'd say 3 or 4 that we're currently using right now. We've gone through a lot of them. We've gone through the good, the bad, and the ugly on the call centers, and we're with some good ones that we have now. So depending on the call centers, they're anywhere from, I would say the average is about 25. We have one company that's very high at 55, but the quality is very good. You don't receive as many of them, but it's good quality. But as I said, the average is about $25 per live transfer. And interestingly enough, leads cost about the same. So if it were me, I would take a live transfer over a lead any day. So let me go through some of the questions on here. See if I've answered any of them. Okay, let's see. We have a question on if the agent keeps the renewals. If we pay for the live transfers, we keep the renewals. You'll be an LOA, it'll be an LOA contract, a license only agent. And so the commissions get sent to us, and then we send you your portion. We pay weekly, depending on what part of the month you wrote the case. So if you wrote a policy in the first week of a month, you'll get paid during the first week of the month, as long as it was approved in that week, every month. So you don't have to wait for all your monthly commissions to come to you at just the end of the month. Every month we'll be paying you based on when we get paid from the companies. So it's kind of nice to get checks every week on that. Let's see if there are other questions here. Cost for live transfers, I just went over that. If you do pay for your own live transfers, as I mentioned, you'll receive full comp. You'll also get the renewals on that. And with final expense, it's not as big of a deal on the renewals, but with Medicare, MedSup, renewals are a lot more money. And so once you get started on those, if you decide to do those and take the free option, once you get some success on that, I'd imagine you'd probably want to switch over and pay for your own so you can get the renewals on that. Again, on final expense, it's not as big a deal. Okay. What quoting engine will the agents have access to? Actually, we are not using a quoting engine on this. You know, the different companies do have different quoting engines. We have a final expense quoting on one of our websites, but we just use the rate cards, and I'll show you on the training how we do those. It's simpler than even quoting a quoting engine. And the reason we do that is because we don't want to overload you guys with a lot of different contracts. We just want, to get one or two companies, assuming one has a guaranteed issue plan and the other one has a standard and is in most of the states. And let's see, I'm looking at the questions here. And so you'll have a primary company that you're using. So it's a lot easier just to have that rate sheet right there. And you can just tell the person, just from looking at the rate sheet real quick, approximately how much it's going to cost them. Again, it's easier than doing a quoting thing. It'll also have the questions on there, so you'll know if the person would qualify for standard, rated, modified, or guarantee issue plan. So that's there and easy for you. So it's really easier than a quoting engine itself, just having that rate card with you. And a lot of agents, they just put it on their computer and leave it at the bottom of their taskbar and then pop it up when they need to get the quotes there. Let's see. Another question is the advance for 9 months. I believe that depends on the company. Some companies do 6 months, some do 9 months. Are the non-resident fees just to get contracted with the carrier, or is it for the state licensing? Those are just state licensing. Most carriers aren't charging for non-resident fees. So this is just, those are the fees for you to get the license. And we can't deduct it from your commissions on that. That's just something that the agents need to have before they get started on the program. Okay, let's see. What is the difference in the commission and comps? That's a good question. As I mentioned before, if we are paying for the live transfers, you'll be at 40% for a standard final expense plan. If it's guarantee issue, it's going to be lower comp because the companies pay less for guarantee issue. If you are paying and getting full comp, you'll get the full GA comp with final expense plans. It can be anywhere from 100 to 115 or 120, depending on the company. And so that's what you would be. You'd be at the top contract for GAs. Let's see. Any other questions on here? How do chargebacks work? Actually, that's the nice thing about this is there are no chargebacks. You'll get paid as earned on these, as if we're paying for the live transfers. And so there are no chargebacks. If someone stops paying, the commission just stops coming. And we find that that's a real advantage for agents and for us. We've seen too many agents get in trouble with chargebacks, and we've been burned by too many agents that have written bad business and gotten us big chargebacks. So if it's something that we're paying for, a live transfer or a lead that we're paying for, you'll get paid as earned on these. If you get full comp, you can get annualized on those and get the lump sums. Okay, let's see. Any feedback on persistency? So far, the persistency has been really good on this. We have, the clients need to have a bank account or a credit card to be able to pay for these, except with Great Western. Great Western will let the client pay by credit card for even the monthly payments. So some seniors just don't have a checking account. They don't need them. They use their Medicare card to pay things, and they have a credit card. So if the client only has a credit card, you can write with Great Western. As I mentioned before, we use Great Western for their guarantee issue plan. It's very low cost, but they also have a regular plan too. It's not the cheapest out there, but it's, middle of the road on the price. And you're not going to find a lot of price issues on this where people are thinking they can get a better rate somewhere else, or they're looking around. The only price issues that we usually come up on are if people can afford it or not. And so we adjust the face amount based on that. Okay. Let's see, what are the average sales per week? And that really depends on the agents. Some agents take to this quick, and instead of the average sales per week, I would say the average sale per live transfer is probably about, we're 1 in 5 for agents that are starting on this, and more around 1 out of 4 for agents that have been doing it for a little while. Some agents even higher than that, but about 1 out of 5, 4 or 5, you will probably sell 4 or 5 legit live transfers. And the average premium on these, I would say it's probably, oh gosh, we had run the numbers a while ago, and it was actually higher than I thought. Back from what I remember, it was around $50 a month. And now the latest that I saw, it was around $75 a month was the approximate average premium on these. So if it's something you'd like to get started in, I mean, there's a lot of agents out there, including, myself, when COVID hit and we couldn't meet with people, it was tough. And so these live transfers have been great. You're going to get to talk to people that are interested in final expense, several people per day that you would normally not get to talk to. So even if the commission, even if you don't hit the bonuses on it and you're getting 40%, that's 40% of policies that you would not have written otherwise. So I wouldn't look at the commissions as being lower so much as I would look at it as, this is I mean, I hate to say it, but it's really a blessing for the agents to get these live transfers when it's hard now to get business. Even if you have leads, people aren't answering the phones, but the call centers, they get through it. They keep calling and they'll get you the transfers on that. So that's how you get started. Send us the contracts. If you have an issue with those contracts and you need other ones, let me know and we'll get other ones to you. Here's my contact information, Tim Johnson. I'm sorry if I didn't introduce myself in the beginning. I'm Tim Johnson, Director of Marketing at Saving Options and Solutions. And here's Barry Wilkins' contact information. He's the CEO of SOS. That's our office number there. If you have any other questions, let me know. If you'd like to get started, get us your contracts, and I will shoot you out another email with the training link for Tuesday's Zoom meeting. And